Hey y'all, good rainy Monday morning to ya. Well, I guess that depends on where you are, but where I am, it's raining. So it's also dreary, okay? So here it is, oh yeah, it's April 20th because I was just fixing the date a while ago on our little wiener dog on our mantle. And I was like telling Grayson the date because we, try to go over the date every day, even though I've been, not so great about that, and I'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, so I was doing a little date today, and I was like, what? Is it really 4/20, 2020? That's crazy. So, yeah, even though we're in April, there's still going to be some rain. It's weird because I feel like there's a lot of rain in the summertime, but there's even more, like the last two winters, like the one a few months ago, and last year were like super wet winters. What's with all the rain, Lord? We must need it. Anyway, so as I have said often in my blogging in the last, I don't know, few months to a year probably, I'm always like, hey, y'all, it's been a while. And I'm going to say that right now. Hey, y'all, it's been a while. And that's because most recently I've been in what I call the black hole. If you don't know what the black hole is, you don't want to know what the black hole is. And I hope you don't ever know what the black hole is. But basically, what the black hole is what I call the severe depression, and it's like the black hole just swallows you. Or you're just going along, in life, and then you just, I don't know, fall in the black hole because you don't see it in front of you, because you can't see it until you fall in it. You can't pull yourself out of it, which is going to bring me to, if you read my blog or anything, especially in the last couple of years, you've probably noticed a big change in me. Maybe some of that is good, and well, some of that is good. Some of it's not so good. If you have read through it, you know that I am a big advocate for mental health. And that is because I suffer from several different things in the mental health world. And I have to weigh the options when I vlog or blog. It's like, or even when I share with people in person or something. I'm a pretty open book, and I feel both sides about a lot of things. So the one side about mental health is I feel like, oh my gosh, if I share what's going on with me, then that leaves me wide open for to be judged, and it leaves me completely vulnerable to other people's comments and opinions, whether they say them to me or behind my back. I heard this probably last week, but I've heard it many times before. The other people's opinions of me, it's none of my business. And it isn't, but that's not what sticks in my head. Just quite honestly, it's not. Because I am one that's, always thinking, did I upset them, or are they upset with me, or did I do something wrong? Or it's always kind of negative Jane, negative, down on me. I got that from years and years of being shown or told that I'm not good enough, growing up in that mess. And so there's that side of it is, I can be very honest with you and be judged. And there's that back and forth between the reality of, that's not my problem, what you think of me, the people that could care less about that or about this and what I'm saying, just care less about it, don't watch it, whatever. But then here's the other side. I know the black hole. I know the darkness. I know the demons. And so, without going into all of the little details right now, and maybe not even soon, about all the things I'm struggling with, the reason I do this and the reason I do share what I share is because there are so many people suffering, and I'm one of them. And in fact, I can only speak for Americans, and not even all Americans, but I'm American, so I can't really speak for other countries. But I do know that people, when you talk about mental health, or even just say the one word mental, you're like, people freak out. And yeah, it's 2020, and you're like, oh my gosh, like it's 2020. So the words depression and anxiety, right? Like, most people have it, right? You think, well, there are some people that have it that are unaware. There are some people that have depression and anxiety, either or other things. And maybe they are aware and they just cannot accept that. I have lots of examples of people that I know that when I share my struggles, they look at me like, what? Like I'm an alien. They don't get it. And these are the very people that are suffering from it. Eek. Yeah. And I don't know why it's such a stigma. And not just about depression and anxiety, I mean all kinds of mental health stuff. Okay. You know, and then we have to wait on the celebrities to come out and be like, oh, I have depression and anxiety. Oh, I'm bipolar. Oh, I have this, I have that. Whatever. And then, if a celebrity has it, it's just a wee bit more acceptable. But not always, 100% acceptable. But why do we have to wait on celebrities? I mean, I don't know. I am definitely not a celebrity. I am a superstar. But I'm not a celebrity. And so, yeah, I'm going to share because I do know that my blog touches thousands of people. Listen, when I say that, that is no toot toot my own horn. If y'all read anything about me or listened to me or whatever, I mean, you know that I'm quite the opposite of that. I am definitely not about tooting Jane's horn all the time, okay? Is basically, I'm usually down on myself and negative. And the last couple of years, I have become somebody that I don't really recognize and I don't really like. And that is due to trauma. That's due to 44 years of trauma. So I think some things in the last couple of years that have been done to me were, I don't know, cherry on top, icing on the cake, which all of those sound like good things. So this wasn't even good. So I'm going to say like bomb being dropped on me. Yeah, more like a bomb. Yeah, and my reaction to these bombs have been fireworks. And yeah, that's not cool. So I'm really having to learn that even though I've been hurt by many people, it doesn't mean that I get to go around and hurt people, does it? I don't think so. Because if I'm so upset with somebody for hurting me, and then I turn around and do the same thing, how's that right? I don't think that makes any sense. But it's a real struggle with me. I know. I'm sitting here messing with my hair. Which is another thing, like, yeah, I mean, I have no makeup on. I'm aging. Like I said, I'm 44. But I was just thinking last night, I've been so down on myself, and I have like a lot of issues with my body. So all these things we'll touch on later, or, otherwise this video could go on like 100 years, right? But I have a lot of issues with the way I look, and I don't really know where all that came from. I don't know. I guess maybe years of being told and shown I wasn't good enough. I don't know. That's that's been most of my life. So how it turned physical, I don't really know, but it sucks. But so maybe you're struggling with that. I mean, you don't have to be like female. You can be a male. I mean, whatever. Like, and struggle with body image. So I don't. It comes and goes. I wish it would come more. But like last night, I was standing in the bathroom in the mirror washing my face, and it just came over me. It was just such a simple reality that I said to myself, oh my gosh, Jane, like, you've loved your girls and you haven't told them that they were ugly or unworthy or not good enough or not smart enough or not anything enough. But they've seen me tear myself down. And what's that doing for my girls? And it's our reality, which I really think sucks. But our reality here in America, again, because that's all I know, is, and I'm sure guys, feel some pressure about things, whatever. But, here in America for the women, it's like you have to look a certain way. You have to do your eyebrows a certain way, and you have to, do your lashes. And with this, oh no, we can't have that. I gotta have the Botox and, ooh, little lift, because once you get my age, this stuff starts falling. Yeah. And the little gray hairs, and you know, all kinds of stuff. Our body, supposedly falling apart or whatever. But what happened to aging gracefully? I don't like it. I'm not gonna lie. I do not like aging. And when I said that thing about how girls have to do all these things, about the like Botox or eyelashes or breast implants or butt implants or whatever, or starving yourself or having an eating disorder, just all kinds of things we could touch on. Listen, I'm all about doing whatever you need to do to make you feel better. So I'm not judging people to do these things. I've done some of these things to myself to try and make myself, feel better. And so y'all know I jump around all the time, but that's really that's who I am. I can be random and like boop, 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 boop. It's almost like you can see the little fireworks going off above my head, just like shooting off different thoughts. I'm like, ooh, ooh, squirrel, what? So a lot of this, brings me to how do we as women, since I'm a woman, because I can't really speak for a man, how do we age gracefully? How do we love the way we look and love our bodies? And why is it always about the outside? Not that there's anything wrong with loving your body. As some of y'all know, I have been down basically 6 months. I had a surgery at the end of October and could not do anything like exercise or blah, 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 that kind of stuff for at least 6 weeks. And then I got released by my doctor. So it took me a couple of weeks after that, to start maybe walking again and easing back into it and going back to the gym and doing my yoga, which I couldn't even practice my yoga, except for the meditation part, which with my brain being so dark and the demons, that's been really difficult for me. But anyway, so 12 weeks after that surgery, I had a major complication. So that was in January, and that caused me to have an emergency surgery, and they had to go back in and repair stuff from the first surgery. And not only did that happen, but they said if I had waited another day, I might not be here. A lot of infection had set in, and they had to like rinse my body. It sounds like such a movie. It's so gross. Like the doctor described my head and like my feet and back and forth and back and forth, and they just like had to wash my insides. That's so gross. Anyway, my crazy hair. See, like, this bothers me, like, right now a little bit. And then does it? I don't know. So that's the other part of me that I'm, like, really open. Like, this is women in reality. This is a real 44-year-old woman who has wrinkles, and my face can break out. My face is sagging, gray hair. But what's wrong with that? Because then sometimes when I'm meditating and I'm in the bathtub, it's one of my favorite things to do is take a bath and meditate. And I sit there, and obviously I'm naked in the bathtub. So I am looking at my body because there's nothing else to look at. You know, and I'll just touch certain parts of my body, like even my stomach or whatever, and I think, and I even say out loud sometimes, a lot of times I talk to the Lord at these times, whether it be out loud or in my mind or both or whatever, and I touch my stomach and I'm like, you know what? Thank you, Lord. This stomach got bigger and bigger and bigger to carry 3 beautiful girls. That would be Rachel, who's 25, who is my daughter that I had to place for adoption when I was 19 because I was forced to. And then my Grayson, who is now 22. And, you know, she's my daughter that's severely handicapped, and just that's a whole other world. Whole other world. And then my youngest daughter, Chloe, who is 20. And she's my little sunshine. So, you know, thank you. Thank you that I have a stomach that I have. And I probably should be thankful for the stretch marks, because that means that my stomach got big enough to carry these children. And I'm not saying that just because you don't have stretch marks doesn't mean you can't bring children in the world, or you don't have, you know, you're not a great mother. And for the people who can't birth, you know, children themselves, that doesn't make us a mama, you know. So people that adopt children, you know, or whatever, or me, you know, I had to place a child for adoption. So anyway, I'm just talking about my physical body. And I look at my thighs. Lord, God bless it, okay? Because I'm only 5'3" and a half, because, you know, I got to keep that half as long as I got it, right? Even though I do like being petite. I really honestly do. I like being short and little. But I look at, but that means that there's not much room for places to go, because I am not skinny. I'm not a thin girl. I was born with a booty and with thighs, okay? And so since that's what I've been given, I really feel like, what can I do with it? Because I can't, like, I'm built the way I'm built. How about that? So, and this is all going to come back around to a point in a minute, you know, when I get around to it. So, but yeah, I look at my legs and I'm like, you know what? I should be like, thank you, Lord, that I have these legs to walk on. Because I have a daughter who can't walk. She's been in a wheelchair her entire life. I mean, I experience that every day. So why I can't look at myself and be like, oh my gosh, I'm thankful that I have legs and that I have these big thighs, you know, because somewhere in those thighs is some muscle, okay? And that muscle does help me lift my daughter Grayson. And so I'm just, yeah, I try to go through body parts sometimes, and sometimes it's a little overwhelming because, again, like I said, I don't like to age. So I'm going to bring all this around, right? I'm going to try to bring it, I'm going to try to. So as you can tell, I mean, because you hadn't seen me in a while, and I'm on no social media right now because it's not good for me to be on social media mentally. Because I feel like, as much as we all want to say, oh, I don't really care how many likes I get, or I don't care if people comment on my pictures, we know that's not true. Honey, we know it is not true, because we depend on that like, or we depend on that comment, you know, or we put a picture of ourselves out there and we're like, we want people to go, you look so good. Because who don't want to feel good? We all want to feel good, you know. We all want people to like us, don't we? I mean, most of us, I think. And I think we're also not going to be honest about, you know, social media. And hey, I have nothing against social media for people that can handle it. it's just not good for me right now. So for me in this social media, like, there's a lot of fake. I mean, there's a lot of fake. I'm not one to use filters. I guess was that on Instagram when I was on it or whatever. I mean, look at me right now. Like, seriously. I mean, this is like, hey, I woke up this morning and put my hair in a ponytail. Ooh. So, um, so anyway, it's just, I don't know. It's just not good because there's a lot of competition. And like I said, I see things that I'm always comparing myself, and instead of just loving me. And yeah, if you have been a follower of mine, you will read that throughout. And sometimes I got a hold on it. Man, like back in the first couple of weeks of January, you can actually look back on my blog. And man, I got it. Like, I don't know, something like I called it my soul switch. Like something changed in my soul, and I was so thankful for it. It was just happy, happy everything. And then the black hole got me. Yeah, so, woo, sorry. You know, that's reality too. As I'm trying to hold the phone, you know, and vlog this morning. And the reason I'm vlogging instead of blogging is because I did want you to see me. So here we go. Let's try to tie it all together. So you can see my face. I have put on 15 pounds. Oh, I think I was talking about surgery a while ago. Anyway, multiple complications. So yeah, except for maybe a couple of weeks, and that wasn't 2 solid weeks. So maybe a couple of weeks out of 6 months, I did a little bit of walking and gym and yoga. But yeah, basically 6 months I've been down, mentally, physically, emotionally, socially, spiritually. I've been down spiritually, and I have a really deep faith in the Lord. I'm not very religious or ritualistic, but I have a very deep faith, and I've really been struggling with the Lord, and just, yeah, I've needed to see Him. So anyway, I put on this weight, and then it's not only from that, I was on steroids 2 different times because of the stress from my surgery and the stress of Grayson being overdosed and almost killed and having to be put in the hospital. Anyway, this winter has been really crazy and sucked. You know, but I'm hanging on that something good is coming. So the reason I am vlogging, besides just the video part so you can see me, is because my friend and my, I guess you could say, personal trainer slash nutritionist, whatever, Annie. So she used to be my neighbor, and they moved a few months ago, but not far down the road. And I just decided I got to do it. Like, so I was released anyway a week ago, and that was another 12 weeks later. So now I am released to exercise and stuff again, but I have to go super slow this time because I don't want to have a 3rd surgery. Yeah. Or any other complications. So I kept thinking about reaching out to Annie because she's a personal trainer. And I was like, yes, no, yes, no. I can't do the work. Can I do the work? Oh my gosh, it's going to be hard, but oh my gosh, I got to do the work. So I reached out to her last week, and I met with her Thursday night, and it's unexpected. I mean, I expected to get a meal plan and to get a workout plan, but Annie gave me something else. She gave me a little bit of wisdom. She gave me a lot of encouragement. And she shared some things about the Lord with me, which, you know, I've never even asked her about her relationship, you know, with the Lord. And yeah, and she's just, she's there, like, I don't know. So anyway, I wanted you to know yesterday, which would have been Sunday, I started my meal plan. So I'm having to eat like 5 times a day, you know, right now, and to get my body's metabolism back up and going. And it's a lot of food. Yeah, I'm not used to eating that much. And Annie's like, nope, you got to eat it all because you're training your body. So I'm going to be honest. I am scared that in the next probably 10 to 14 days, while my body is adjusting to this new thing before it starts burning, I guess, the calories and bringing my metabolism back up, I may chunk out even more. I ain't gonna lie. It bothers me. It just bothers me. Because I don't feel good. It's not just the before pictures that were taken that made me cry. It's just I don't feel good. I've not been eating well, and obviously haven't been allowed to exercise. So today is the first day that I put the workout part into action, and yeah, I just want to share my journey with you. And that was another thing from Annie, is she said maybe you should blog about your journey with this, and not just the exercise and the nutrition and that like real major change, because this is difficult. It's taken a lot of mental focus because I'm eating the same thing, every day is what it's going to be. And I'm only on day 2, but I'm doing good. Maybe I'll just keep looking at those before pictures and then I'll like, okay, I can do this. But not just for the exercise and nutrition, but the mental health part, because it all ties together. So anyway, I am going to be taking this journey, and hopefully on my good days, meaning the days that this is good, I'll be able to blog or vlog more, because I really want you to see what's going on, and how I'm doing with it, because I do think it's going to be difficult, but I'm also excited about I need the mental focus. So anyway, I want you to see that, and I want to continue to share my mental health, not just struggles, but my mental health gains. Yeah, so this video is going to be like a shout out to Annie for getting me started. Right? Okay, see, like right now, I'm like, oh my gosh, with my face. And you know what? I should be thankful for this face. Because these puffy cheeks right here, these cheeks, I have laid next to my daughter's cheeks. I have snuggled them. Okay? This mouth has been used to speak encouragement and positivity, except for the last 2 years, into a lot of people. Even though mouth can do damage too. I'm working on that part. Yeah, and so, and this, I look at this all the time. I'm like, oh my gosh, ooh, is that permanent? Oh, no, yeah, it is. But this is from always looking at people like this, because I look at people like this when they're talking, which made this permanent, because I'm really interested in what they're saying. I'm really showing concern, and that's where that look comes from. So maybe I should look at this as, hey, yeah, that's because you really listen to people. I don't know. And these little lines and these little lines, yeah, you know what those are from? Smiling, being happy. Yeah. So, hey, maybe you comment on my blog, or you can send me a message or whatever. It can be a private message if you want it to be, or public comment on my blog. And, maybe you're struggling with these things, and maybe you can look at yourself if you have like body image issues like I do, and you can turn those thoughts around, because I can do it right now in this moment. Who knows if I can do it in 5 minutes? I may be tearing myself down in 5 minutes. So it's constant challenge for me, and discipline, I guess it'll be. And this is also, I just randomly like do stuff like this. And it reminds me of my oldest daughter, Rachel, when like me and her would like send each other videos. Like I really love doing that with her. And because we reconnected last July, and it was so funny because me and her are the same. Like I would, it's just the mannerisms, it's just wild. Like we do the same things while we're doing our videos. But anyway, so hey, like I was gonna say, maybe you can send me a message and tell me how you're doing. Maybe you're not doing well and need encouragement from me, or maybe you're doing something that you can tell me that'll encourage me. I don't know. But anyway, again, I never really finish thoughts, or they come back around later. So shout out to you, Annie, for supporting me and helping me through this. And we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's not all about my outside body, it's for my insides too. And I know eating better and, not eating like so much sugar crap and stuff like that, will help me with my depression and anxiety. And other mental health issues, and just with my thoughts. Oh, my thoughts. Eek. So obsessive. Like I just sometimes want to just like drill a little hole in my head and let the ugliness drain out. Does that make sense? Anyway, one day, if this goes well, okay, because I'm really going to try, I will show you my pictures from Saturday that were my before pictures. It will not be now. And the reason it will not be now is because, no, I am not strong enough to show you those before pictures right now. And because there's nothing to compare them to. Because I'm going to need to get something toned up and better and healthy. I'm just being honest with you. And I was like, I think this and I think this, but I do that a lot. I usually think both sides about most situations, which can be a gift and it can be a struggle. Okay. So anyway, I am going to go back downstairs and see what my girl Grayson is doing. After I fed her breakfast, I left her snoozing for a while. So more updates later. All right. Peace and love, y'all.